I like the fact that you said that the liberals have the PR machine, right? They have Hollywood, and they have all the producers and all the
You
filmmakers.
can't lose. Yeah.
I know, right? They have control over the narrative, and their PR is pretty good. And so the way I have explained it to people in the past is, it's almost like you are running against Santa Claus, and anyone who runs against Santa Claus will lose, because
Or
it's so much
puppies.
easier, right? It's so much easier to say to people, we will give you everything you want, and you don't have to take any responsibility for it. If you are drug addicted, we will give you the drugs. We'll give you a place where you can safely inject these drugs, and we will give you free homes, and we will do everything that you want. And if you want to live on the streets, hey, it's a right to live on the streets. You don't have to clear out. You can choose to live on the streets. If whatever it is you want to do, it doesn't matter, as long as it makes you happy, right? That's
Right.
all you need to do. And it doesn't matter if other people have to use their productivity to subsidize your behavior, right? And that's a much easier message to get out there. It's much easier to tell people they don't have to do anything. And
Right.
as a Christian, it's one of those things that I reject, in the sense that sometimes in the Christian church, you hear people say things like, hey, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is make sure that, when push comes to shove and you're about to die, you can just say, I accept God, I accept Jesus, and immediately everything is okay. And you're like, really? Like, what about the repent part? What about the, love your
This work.
neighbors? What
Yeah.
about all these other things that are necessary to truly changing who you are and being like Jesus Christ, right? And so it's the same kind of idea that you can just do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. And when you need help, we will prevent you from suffering the consequences of the choices you made,
Right.
right? And then the guy comes into the room that says, sorry, no, you can't do everything that you want. Or if you do everything you want, it will lead to bad consequences. And we're not going to always save you from those consequences, because those consequences are lessons for you. And that guy looks like the mean guy, right? And that's how I see in general kind of the conservative side of the political aisle, is that they're the people who have to come and bring the reality into the conversation. And when you're talking to someone who is addicted to, I can do whatever I want, and you come and tell them, sorry, well, you can do this, but you're not going to get my help. I'm not going to
enable
give you the drugs to inject into your body. Like, I'm not
that whole
do
thing. I can't even grasp my head around how people support that. The whole, you're gonna do it, we're gonna make sure you do it safely. I'm like, whoa. Like, you said something really interesting about, I do think the Liberal Party are more dreamers and the Conservative Party is more reality. And I'm gonna not get the quote right, but there's something about for an eagle to fly, you need to have balance on both wings. And so it's okay to have reality. It's okay to be dreamer, and so then we can somehow meet in the middle. And I think that's what's missing right now is, I want you to be a dreamer, but we also need to okay, can we do this? How do we do this? And
exactly.
What I don't like is people want us all to be over here. And I'm like, well, then we're just going to go like this and fall. I don't understand. I like looking at different things, different ways. How could we do this? How can we improve this? But there has to be a realistic way to do that. And I don't understand how we can work together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the opposing part of that. I had written this down because you had said something earlier. I love having conversations with people that think differently than me. Before I was a liberal, and I still do now, I have friends that are, all over the political spectrum, but I had a lot of friends that were conservative or libertarians, and I would have conversations with them, especially about the Second Amendment, because I don't own guns. I fully support people to have them, but I just have never been around them. My dad was a hunter. They're just not been in our home. So I feel uncomfortable around them, not because I don't think people should have them. I just am not, I'm not educated about it. And so I should not own a gun because I don't know how to use one. So we'd have conversations about that. And even though I'm listening and I'm being receptive and respectful, it doesn't mean I agree with what you're saying. I might be like, oh, I've never thought of it that way. And I enjoy listening to people's from different walks of life their different perspectives, like their life experiences of how they got there. And I feel like, and I cannot put this, this is very important, that is what's missing. People are surrounding themselves in an echo chamber of people who think exactly like them. And you're not even capable of having a respectful conversation with somebody who thinks differently than you. And
Mhm.
honestly, that's what I think is one of the best things about life, is surrounding yourselves with people who think differently, because it's interesting.
I
It's
know.
boring to be around people who think exactly like you. I don't understand that, and it's dangerous. I
It's
think it's
dangerous.
extremely dangerous.